Yo, or should I say yo ho ho? I ain't calling you a ho, but this is about a pirate game. I got the chance to play the new closed beta of Skull and Bones and wanted to give you my thoughts on it. Big shout out to Luke for the invite, thank you my man. So this is a closed beta, we're allowed to make videos and stream it. It's only open for like 4 days or so I'm gonna play as much as I can. The final product will likely be quite a bit different and I certainly hope so. Keep in mind that this game has been in development for about 10 years, has had huge amounts of scope change, and has cost well over $120 million so far. They are doing the right things with these type of betas and getting player feedback, but boys, they got a long way to go. And when I say a long way to go for that game to be a hit. The game does some things very well and some things very poorly, and we're going to talk about it. If you enjoy this video, drop a like. If you're new to the channel, welcome and make sure to subscribe. I cover gaming news, glitches, do a lot of live streams with the community, and more. Let's talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. The good, the naval battles are fantastic. The game opens up with a small cutscene and you're thrust into a pretty heavy naval battle. The controls are smooth and intuitive for the naval battles and they were a lot of fun. As I progressed through the closed beta, I noticed that the ship customization was quite robust as well. I thought the overall graphics were good, not great, but pretty good. From the look of the ship to the various weaponry and attachment. The water and ships look nice, firing your cannon looks good, it's all good. The hit detection seems to be really on point. If you hit the front of a ship, you can see the explosion in the front of the ship. You hit the sails, you'll see some impact on the sails and so forth. These battles are truly immersive and a lot of fun. You can have different weaponry on different sides of your ship, from the front to the back to the left to the right. It's a good intro to those controls and eventually you get blown up and that's where the game really starts. You end up waking up on a board floating in the ocean. From there you get taken to a character creation screen with a reasonable amount of options to customize and create your character. And you get access to a crappy little ship and you can go to various settlements. Once you leave your boat and go to the settlements, that's where the fun stops in my opinion. And I will explain why. Let's talk about the bad, well, the settlements. Once you disembark from your boat at a settlement or a point of interest, you're in like a third-person adventure type view. That said, you're limited to walking around and interacting with things. I couldn't really shoot a gun or punch someone in the face or even jump around. Although I completely understand that the majority of your time is going to be at sea, I would like to see that third-person experience polished a little bit more, as it does feel a little bit dated. I found the settlements quite empty and boring, not empty of people, but empty of things to do. You can only go to specific points of interest like various shops and cookeries and things like that. However, you can't really interact with anyone unless it's specified. Like for example, in settlements you'll often find a quest giver or someone you gotta pick something up for. However, the settlements just didn't feel alive to me, everything felt kinda tacked on. A big contrast from the high-level, awesome naval battles. It came across as very generic, and not being able to interact with most people or things was disappointing. In the various settlements and towns, there may be mission givers, there may be cookeries, a couple different options for ship customization, and it feels so tacked on. If you look at the naval battles, it feels like such an upgraded version of Black Flag, but then you start running around, it feels like you're miles below what Assassin's Creed was in the way you move, jumping, interacting with people, and so forth. I know the game's not Assassin's Creed, but I hate to see such a downgrade in that third-person element. One thing the game seems to have going well for it is its multiplayer options. You can group up with just about anyone. That does increase the overall difficulty of NPC ships and such. You can attack anyone, and that's one of the advantages of being a pirate. If you damage a ship enough, you can board it and loot it. I was really disappointed with this for one reason. Once you click board and loot, you're suddenly just on the ship and looting it. I would have loved to see something like the old school Pirates game where once you boarded the ship you had to have like a one-on-one duel with the captain, or there was some kind of battle between the two crews. Again, maybe just personal prep. Through this closed beta, I noticed it's a lot of fetch quests, go to X location, bring Y back for me. If Ubisoft can improve the third-person elements of this, Ubisoft, I don't know what the fuck they're really called. One thing that looks like it's going pretty well is the multiplayer and social elements. You can interact with people all over the server, you can join groups. I can easily imagine having a great time with a group of friends going against another crew of pirates. I feel sorry for this game because it's been through development hell without a clear strategic vision. You can read all the articles about the development hell and all the changes in setting and features. I hope they continue to listen to feedback, make adjustments, and it turns out to be a pretty good game because the naval action where most of the stuff should be taking place is really on point. It's just those third-person elements that feel pretty janky. We'll have to see what happens and hopefully we'll hear some more soon. What do you think about what you've seen or heard of this game so far? Do you think it's actually going to come out? Do you think it's going to be good? Do you think it's going to be bad? Love to hear your thoughts. That's all the time we have for today. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video or live stream.